It was a quiet morning in Wagadugu when Ibrahim Traoré received an unexpected call that would dramatically alter the geopolitical landscape. On the other end of the line was Elon Musk, speaking directly from Austin, Texas. President Traoré, this is Elon Musk. I have been following your transformative work in Burkina Faso and would like to discuss strategic partnerships. Traoré paused, surprised but intrigued. He knew Musk's reputation as a technology visionary, but he had not expected direct interest in Burkina Faso. Mr. Musk, it is an honor. What kind of partnership do you have in mind? Technological infrastructure, Mr. President. Burkina Faso has immense potential to become an African technology hub. Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, all of my companies can contribute to sustainable development, Musk said, his voice full of genuine enthusiasm. Traoré smiled. At 37, he had always sought partnerships that benefited his people, not just foreign interests. Mr. Musk, I appreciate your interest, but I need to understand your motivations. Why Burkina Faso specifically? Because you're building something special, Musk replied bluntly. A prosperous, technologically advanced, truly independent African country. That's the future I want to support. The conversation lasted 47 minutes, discussing possibilities ranging from Starlink's universal internet to Tesla's solar factories. Can I visit Burkina Faso next week for detailed discussions? Musk asked. You're welcome, Traoré replied, but cautioned, Mr. Musk, partnerships with us must benefit the Burkinabe people first, not just foreign companies. I completely understand, Musk said. That's exactly why I want to work with you. What neither of them knew was that the NSA had intercepted the entire conversation, and the report would land on Donald Trump's desk within hours, triggering unprecedented presidential fury. 2 hours after Musk's call with Traoré, the White House Situation Room was abuzz with urgent activity. General Samuel Carter, director of the NSA, had requested an emergency meeting with President Trump about a critical national security development. Mr. President, Carter began, entering the Oval Office with a classified briefing. We have intercepted communication between Elon Musk and Ibrahim Traoré that requires immediate attention. Trump looked up from his documents, irritated by the interruption. What kind of communication? Musk is negotiating extensive strategic partnerships with the Burkinabe government, including dual-use military technology transfer through SpaceX and critical infrastructure via Starlink, Carter reported gravely. Trump's face instantly turned red. What the? Elon is doing business with that African kid who humiliated me on TV? Sir, the conversation suggests Musk sees Burkina Faso as a model for independent African development and wants to support an alternative to neo-colonial models, Carter continued, reading from a verbatim transcript. Trump exploded from his chair. That son of a... Elon is cheating on me after all I've done for him. Mr. President, there's more, Carter said hesitantly. Musk mentioned that Traoré represents the future of global leadership and that America needs to recognize geopolitical shifts. Recognize? I will show him what recognition is. Trump yelled, pounding his fist on the table. Call Elon now and call an emergency cabinet meeting. National Security Advisor Michael Lang tried to calm him down. Mr. President, perhaps we should consider the implications before. Implications? Trump roared. Elon is stabbing me in the back with the same African who embarrassed me. There is nothing to analyze. The crisis was just beginning. 3 hours later, Elon Musk arrived at the White House for an urgent meeting with Trump, unaware that he had been ambushed. Upon entering the Oval Office, he found Trump in a barely controlled state of fury, surrounded by tense aides. Elon, my friend, Trump said with venomous sarcasm, I hear you've been making some interesting new friends in Africa. Musk, immediately sensing the hostile tone, remained calm. Donald, if you're referring to my conversation with Ibrahim Traoré, yes, we explored business opportunities. Business opportunities? Trump exploded. You're negotiating with an enemy of the United States, with a kid who publicly humiliated me. Traoré is not an enemy of the United States, Musk corrected calmly. He's an internationally respected leader who is transforming his country, seeing opportunity where you see threat. Respected, Trump was now shouting. He's an African dictator who came to power by coup. And you want to give him American technology? Musk sighed. Donald, your information is out of date. Traoré has implemented significant democratic reforms, has an 87% approval rating, and Burkina Faso is thriving under his leadership. Thriving? Trump laughed sarcastically. That's some dirt-poor country in Africa. Why the hell would you waste your time there? Because, Musk said, his patience wearing thin. Traoré is building a sustainable future for his people. Something you should admire, not attack out of jealousy. The word jealous was like a fuse to dynamite. Trump turned purple with rage. Jealous? I am not jealous of any African. Then why are you so mad at my interest in a legitimate business partnership? Musk asked calmly. Because you are cheating on me, Trump yelled. After everything I've done for Tesla, SpaceX, you're going to stab me in the back with Ibrahim Traoré. Musk stood up, clearly fed up. Donald, this is about business, not about you. Trump, realizing he was losing control of Musk, decided to bring out his biggest guns. Elon, you're making a very dangerous mistake, he said, shifting to a threatening tone. SpaceX has billions in contracts with the U.S. government. Tesla receives massive federal subsidies. That could change very quickly. Musk stiffened, recognizing the direct threat. Are you blackmailing me, Donald? I'm reminding you where your money comes from. Trump replied coolly. Interesting, Musk said, his voice taking on a dangerous edge. So the President of the United States is threatening an American citizen for doing legal business with a respected foreign leader? Michael Lang tried to intervene. Gentlemen, perhaps we can find a diplomatic solution. There is no solution, Trump shouted. Either Elon cancels all dealings with that African, or face consequences. Musk smiled coldly. Donald, you clearly don't understand who you're dealing with. My companies are bigger than most countries. Do you think you can intimidate me? I can and I will. Trump bellowed. One phone call from me, and SpaceX loses all government contracts. One tweet from me, Musk replied calmly, and everyone knows the American president uses economic blackmail against businessmen who do business with African leaders who anger him. Trump was silent for a moment, realizing he had seriously underestimated Musk. Besides, Musk continued, Traoré offers something you do not. Genuine partnership based on mutual benefit, not domination. Domination? Trump exploded again. I built you, Elon. You built nothing. Musk, standing to leave, said, and now I understand why Traoré chose to diversify partnerships rather than rely on unstable politicians like you. If you leave this room, Trump shouted, consider our friendship over. Musk paused in the doorway, looked back, and smiled. Donald, our friendship ended the moment you threatened me for doing legal business. Traoré was right about you. After Musk left the Oval Office, Trump flew into a rage that terrified even his most loyal aides. That son of a challenged me, he yelled, pounding his fist on the table repeatedly. Nobody challenges me and gets away with it. Chief of Staff Daniel Pierce tried to calm the situation. Mr. President, perhaps we should consider a more strategic approach. Strategic? Trump interrupted. He chose Ibrahim Traoré over Donald Trump. That is treason. Call for an emergency meeting of the Secretaries of Defense, Treasury, and Commerce, Trump ordered. I want every option to stop Elon now. Within 2 hours, the cabinet was in a crisis session. Gentlemen, Trump began, Elon Musk has decided to ally himself with a hostile African regime. I need solutions. Defense Secretary Robert Klein hesitated. Mr. President, technically, Burkina Faso is not a hostile regime. It is an official ally in counterterrorism operations. It is hostile because I say it is. Trump exploded. Traoré humiliated me on TV, and now he's stealing my own businessmen. Treasury Secretary Laura Hensley warned, Sir, canceling SpaceX contract could harm our national space program and economy. I don't care, Trump shouted. I want Elon punished for treason, and I want Ibrahim Traoré investigated for everything the FBI can find, corruption, human rights violations, anything. National Security Advisor Michael Lang made a crucial observation. Mr. President, Traoré has an impeccable international reputation. A baseless investigation could make us look vindictive. Vindictive? Trump laughed bitterly. I am vindictive. No one betrays me and gets away with it. At that moment, Trump made a decision that would change everything. I want a full-scale operation against both Elon and Traoré. I'm going to show the world that you don't mess with Donald Trump. What if they fight back? Pierce asked nervously. Trump smirked. Bring it on. I'm going to destroy them both publicly. While Trump was plotting revenge, Elon Musk was not sitting idle. Immediately after leaving the White House, he called Ibrahim Traoré with an urgent update on the confrontation with the American president. President Traoré, I need to brief you on a serious development, Musk said, driving to Austin. Trump tried to blackmail me into canceling our partnership. Traoré showed no surprise. Mr. Musk, we expected this reaction. Trump does not take kindly to African countries making independent choices. He threatened to cancel government contracts with SpaceX if I continue to do business with you. Musk explained, and he mentioned investigations into your government. Typical intimidation tactics, Traoré replied calmly. Mr. Musk, our offer remains valid, but I understand if American pressure is too great. Pressure? Musk laughed. President, you clearly don't know me well. When someone tries to intimidate me, I become more determined, not less. In that case, Traoré said, maybe it's time to speed up the timing of our public announcements. 2 hours later, Musk posted a tweet that shook Washington. Excited to announce strategic partnerships between my companies and Burkina Faso, led by visionary Ibrahim Traoré. The future of African innovation starts now. Tesla Africa, SpaceX partnership. The tweet received 2.3 million likes within an hour, with mostly positive comments about African-American technology cooperation. More devastating for Trump, Traoré responded publicly, honored by Elon Musk's trust. Partnerships based on mutual respect and shared benefit are the future of international relations. Welcome to the continent of tomorrow. International media immediately grasped the significance. Musk was publicly defying Trump by supporting an African leader whom the president had tried to humiliate. This is a declaration of economic war, a CNN analyst commented. Musk chose Traoré over Trump. At the White House, Trump watched the tweets with growing fury. They are publicly provoking me, he shouted. The next day, Trump decided to make his conflict with Musk public through a series of angry tweets that shocked the political world. Elon Musk is betraying America by doing business with a corrupt African dictator. Trump tweeted at 6 a.m., after all my administration has done for Tesla and SpaceX, this is the gratitude I get. More tweets followed. Ibrahim Traoré is a fake leader who came to power by military coup. Elon is being used by an anti-American regime. SpaceX gets billions in federal contracts, and now Elon uses our technology to help enemies. Unacceptable. The backlash was instant and devastating for Trump. Business leaders, Democrats, and even Republicans criticized the president's public attacks on an American businessman. The president cannot use economic threats against citizens doing legal business, declared Senator Maria Gonzalez. Elon responded with a devastating tweet. Interesting to see a U.S. president attack businessmen for doing business with a democratically supported African leader. Thought America stood for free trade and international cooperation. Worse for Trump, other CEOs began to voice support for Musk. The CEO of a major tech company tweeted, American business owners should be free to form global partnerships without political intimidation. The head of a leading smartphone manufacturer added, innovation thrives on international collaboration, not isolation. But the most devastating blow came from an unexpected source. A prominent former U.S. president tweeted, proud to see American business owners building bridges with visionary African leaders like Traoré. This is what 21st century diplomacy should be about. The tweet received 4.7 million likes compared to Trump's 340,000. International media covered it as Trump versus the world, as support for Musk and Traoré grew globally. Trump has managed to unite Democrats, moderate Republicans, business leaders, and international allies against him, noted one political analyst. At the White House, aides tried to convince Trump to stop the public attacks, but he was out of control. The conflict between Trump, Musk, and Traoré quickly escalated into an international diplomatic crisis. World leaders began to take sides, and most were not supporting Trump. The French president was the first to speak out. France supports innovative partnerships between visionary entrepreneurs and progressive African leaders. The future is collaboration, not confrontation. Canada's Prime Minister followed suit. Canada celebrates technological cooperation that benefits African development. Leadership like that of President Traoré deserves international support. More humiliating for Trump, even traditional allies expressed discomfort. The British Prime Minister said diplomatically, "The United Kingdom values both American entrepreneurs and African leaders who promote progress in their countries." At the African Union, the response was unanimous and forceful. The AU chair declared, "President Trump's attacks on President Traoré and Mr. Musk reveal an unacceptable neo-colonial mindset. Africa will not tolerate intimidation of leaders who form partnerships that benefit our people." 54 African countries signed a joint statement supporting Burkina Faso's right to form technology partnerships with American companies without political interference. China and Russia seized the opportunity to criticize American hypocrisy. The United States preaches free markets, but punishes entrepreneurs who do business with countries Washington does not approve of, declared a Chinese spokesman. Even more devastating, within the United States itself, support for Trump was plummeting. A CNN poll showed that 67% of Americans supported Musk's right to do business with any world leader, while only 23% supported Trump's attacks. Trump has turned a personal conflict into a national diplomatic disaster, editorialized a major newspaper. A Republican senator made a devastating statement. The president should celebrate American entrepreneurs who promote global innovation, not attack them out of personal jealousy. Trump's isolation was nearly complete. 2 weeks into the conflict, Trump was facing one of the biggest political defeats of his presidency. His attempt to intimidate Musk had backfired spectacularly, elevating both Elon and Traoré to international hero status. The U.S. Congress called hearings on the inappropriate use of executive power to intimidate business owners. Democrats and moderate Republicans joined forces to demand explanations for the economic threats against Musk. A president cannot use federal contracts as a weapon against citizens doing lawful business, declared the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Worse for Trump, American businessmen began expressing interest in similar partnerships with Burkina Faso. "If it's good enough for Elon," said the CEO of a leading software company, "maybe we should consider opportunities in Africa." A prominent financial journal published a devastating editorial. Trump has transformed Burkina Faso from an obscure country into a fashionable investment destination through his miscalculated attacks on Musk and Traoré. Meanwhile, Traoré and Musk announced the first phase of their partnership, a free national Starlink network for all Burkina Faso schools and hospitals, followed by a Tesla solar factory in Wagadugu, a pilot project for sustainable African technology development. During a joint satellite news conference, Musk said, "This is just the beginning. Burkina Faso is proving what's possible when innovation meets vision." Traoré added, "We have demonstrated that partnerships based on mutual respect produce results that benefit everyone." The ultimate irony, Trump's attacks had given Traoré massive international exposure, turning Burkina Faso into a symbol of modern African development. Trump wanted to humiliate Traoré and ended up promoting him as a global icon, noted a BBC analyst. Polls showed Trump's approval ratings falling to historic lows, while Traoré was seen globally as a visionary leader who defended African dignity against American intimidation. Musk, for his part, was celebrated as a businessman who prioritized principles over political pressure. Trump lost a war he started, concluded a major newspaper editorial. 6 months after Trump's outburst over Musk's rapprochement with Traoré, the geopolitical transformation was complete and irreversible. Trump had lost a battle he had provoked, while Musk and Traoré emerged as symbols of 21st century international cooperation. Traoré was speaking at the UN General Assembly on technology partnerships for sustainable development, receiving a standing ovation from 193 delegations. 6 months ago, the American president tried to block a partnership between a visionary entrepreneur and an African country determined to prosper, he said. Today, this partnership is a model studied worldwide. The Tesla Burkina Faso project had become a global showcase. Africa's first Tesla factory in Wagadugu was producing solar panels and batteries for the entire continent, creating 12,000 jobs and transforming the national economy. Burkina Faso's GDP grew 34% that year, the World Bank reported, noting the Musk-Traoré partnership has generated sustainable development that benefits the local population and creates exportable technology. Musk, speaking via video conference from Austin, declared, Traoré has proven that visionary leadership transcends borders. Burkina Faso is now a technology hub that inspires the entire African continent. For Trump, the consequences were devastating. His attempts to intimidate Musk cost him crucial support from business leaders, resulted in congressional investigations into abuse of power, and transformed him into a symbol of an obsolete neocolonial mindset. Trump represented a past of domination, said a Harvard professor. Traoré and Musk represent a future of cooperation. Polls showed that 78% of young Americans admire the Musk-Traoré partnership, seeing it as a model for how America should relate to Africa. A year later, Traoré was invited to speak at a prestigious American university on leadership in the digital age, while Trump was facing impeachment proceedings for abusing power in an attempt to intimidate an American businessman. The supreme irony, commented an international journalist, is that Trump, in trying to destroy Traoré, ended up proving exactly why the world needs leaders like him instead of like Trump. The young African president, whom Trump tried to humiliate, had become one of the most respected voices on the planet, proving that the future belongs to those who build bridges, not those who burn them out of bruised ego. The partnership between Musk and Traoré continued to flourish. The Starlink network expanded, connecting rural Burkinabe communities to global markets and education. The Tesla factory became a training ground for African engineers, fostering a new generation of innovators. Other companies, inspired by Musk's bold move, began investing in Burkina Faso, turning Wagadugu into a bustling hub of technology and commerce. Traoré, ever focused on his people, ensured that the benefits of these partnerships reached every corner of the nation. Schools equipped with Starlink offered free online courses, empowering students to compete globally. Hospitals, now powered by Tesla solar panels, provided better care, reducing mortality rates. Farmers used satellite data to optimize crops, boosting food security. Burkina Faso was no longer just a name on a map. It was a beacon of what Africa could achieve with the right leadership and partnerships. Musk, reflecting on the journey, tweeted, "Building the future isn't about politics or ego. It's about creating opportunities for those who dare to dream big. Proud to stand with Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso." The tweet garnered millions of likes, with comments from around the world praising the duo's resilience and vision. Internationally, the narrative had shifted. African leaders, emboldened by Traoré's success, began asserting their nations' rights to form independent partnerships. The African Union launched a continent-wide initiative to attract technology investments, citing Burkina Faso as the gold standard. Ibrahim Traoré has shown us that Africa can lead, not follow, the AU chair declared at summit. Trump, meanwhile, struggled to regain his footing. His public attacks on Musk and Traoré had alienated key allies, both domestic and international. Business leaders distanced themselves, wary of associating with a president who used economic threats against private citizens. Even his base began to waver, with some conservative commentators questioning his judgment. Why pick a fight with Elon Musk, the man who embodies American innovation? One asked. Congressional hearings intensified, with lawmakers grilling Trump's aides on the legality of his threats against SpaceX and Tesla. The evidence was damning. Intercepted calls, internal memos, and Trump's own tweets painted a picture of a president driven by personal vendetta rather than national interest. The impeachment process gained momentum, with bipartisan support growing for a vote to hold Trump accountable. In Burkina Faso, Traoré remained unfazed by the chaos in Washington. He focused on governance, ensuring that every project with Musk's companies aligned with his vision of a self-reliant, prosperous nation. At a community event in Wagadugu, he addressed a crowd of thousands. "Our future is not dictated by those who seek to control us," he said, his voice steady and resolute. "It is built by us, for us, with partners who respect our dignity." The crowd erupted in cheers, their pride palpable. Musk, visiting Wagadugu for the factory's grand opening, stood beside Traoré, marveling at the transformation. "This," he said, gesturing to the gleaming solar panels and bustling workforce, "is what happens when you bet on people, not politics." The event was broadcast globally, with media outlets hailing it as a turning point for Africa's role in the global economy. As the sun set over Wagadugu, Traoré and Musk walked through the factory, discussing plans for the next phase. A SpaceX research hub to develop satellite technology tailored for African climates. "The world is watching," Traoré said, his eyes fixed on the horizon. "And we will show them what's possible." Musk nodded. "Let's keep proving them wrong." The story of Burkina Faso's rise, fueled by an unlikely partnership and unyielding resolve, became a global case study in leadership, innovation, and defiance of outdated power dynamics. Trump's fall, by contrast, served as a cautionary tale of what happens when ego overshadows reason. The future, as Traoré had said, belonged to those who built bridges, and Wagadugu was now a shining example of that truth.